Happy Halloween! First ever edition of the Damn Sports Show on the road here at the YMCA of Dodge County is live. Gardner Minshew and Wilde here with you. Packers show, Pack show, 2-hour show. We've got the Packers, Badgers, Halloween movies. We're drafting candy later, and you are stuck with me for double the usual time.
I know, that's the only part about this that I'm not fired up about, because we've been talking about this show now for weeks. We're dressed up. Where's Waldo? We're finding ourselves today, Corey. That's the theme here. So we got all kinds of things. We've got our normal sports coverage, but on top of that, we got plenty of Halloween stuff to talk about. So there's going to be plenty to stick around for. Come on down and say hello at the Y.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be here from 4 to 6. So usually a 4 to 5 show. We've got an extra hour in here. We'll be covering up the Homer Hour today, so hopefully you hang around with us for that. We are live on Daily Dodge TV if you look us up on YouTube, also on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam for terrestrial radio. You can follow us on Facebook at ESPN Beaver Dam, on Twitter at ESPN BD, or the show Twitter is Dam Sports ESPN. Before we dive into the Packers, Jordan Love back in practice in a limited capacity here. Got a couple topics to bounce off of that. I won't say the inspiration for your costume because that's pretty obvious with your name, but how long have you had this one in the folds?
This has been years in the making.
Oh,
I've
boy.
been talking about doing Where's Wally, Where's Waldo for the longest time. It makes too much sense. Finally have an actual reason to do it. What's throwing me off right now, Corey, is that I'm used to kind of looking at an angle. I got Toast over here looking at her instead. Usually it got here. It threw me off having to turn all the way over.
Yeah.
You started doing the, hey, happy Halloween, and I literally was like, where's my co-host? This is bad. I'm looking, where's Waldo? It's where's Corey right now?
It's not that different of an angle.
It feels like it. I'm telling you, it's like a, 10 o'clock to like a 7 o'clock on a watch thing.
That's a pretty good fit. How much was the full fit?
Well, typically with Gardner Minshew, too.
Well, you supplied me with this. So, mine would have been...
Just like him, you're
about
gone missing.
$40.
So I can't find you here to my left.
Right, perfect. So we'll kind of dive into Packers talk first, as we usually do. Jordan Love, courtesy of Rob Domofsky, he came on a couple of shows earlier today and reported on this. Back in a limited capacity, a decent amount of rain out there. He was playing cautiously, and Adam Schefter's projection was that he'd be limited Wednesday, limited Thursday, kind of ramp it up tomorrow, and then into the weekend pretty much full go. Love kind of behind that schedule a little bit. But when asked after practice today his odds, he said there is a realistic chance. Now, we've heard a lot of different verbiage with the Packers. We've heard we're going to give him every opportunity. We've heard he's progressing towards starting. I don't know. Do you read anything through this vernacular today?
Not really as much today. I'm going more with what
Thursday.
Jason Wilde said to us on Wednesday. This is going to be a guy that if he is able to practice, he has a shot. But with that no practice yesterday, I am still skeptical. Why not give him a full week off? If Malik Willis, obviously, you're confident in him, I have no problem putting him out there. Green, sure, but he's done the part this year. You have a game that you can lose, and it's still not the end of the world if you go 6-3. I kind of love it personally, the idea of going Malik Willis here. So I'm not really doing the whole let's rush Love back. I'm not feeling that.
And actually, I'll backtrack a little bit before we dive more into Packers talk. Shout out to our entire team for getting us out here. Pretty cool stuff.
This is so cool.
The ESPN setup. Shout out to Jack Wilsky for the. I thought these were real pumpkins until about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. I saw you over here poking at them, trying to make sure you can't get the guts on the inside.
Yeah.
We'll say I do miss the old carving pumpkins. That smell, it feels like fall to me. Yeah, like maybe it's a little gross.
This year?
I didn't do it this year. I had nowhere to put it, sadly.
You got a little.
If I did it right now,
a little balcony.
If I put it on the balcony with the wind we have right now, the thing would be all the way to Menominee Falls at this point. I don't need that.
All right, that's fair. So we'll jump back over to the Packers, and in the spirit of Halloween, I ask you, what's your scariest? So I've heard people do different spins on it today. I know Kyle Bruss and Nortman. By the way, Ben Bruss is a huge Halloween hater. I don't know if you heard.
Wait, he's a hater of it?
He hates Halloween.
He's already. Wait, I'm projecting on him what Alex Strofe, his shortcoming in life, being an anti-2 TV setup guy. We got anti-TVs for sports. We got anti-Halloween. What are they doing in Milwaukee?
Yeah, he said it's pretty dumb that people just dress up as something else for a day. But
Joe Burrow said
office,
the same thing. So
yeah,
I
exactly.
guess Ben Bruss and Joe Burrow have something in common.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I guess they do. Two goats. But instead of doing kind of the spin I've heard a lot of people do on it today and the last couple of days, and who were scary Wisconsin athletes growing up, we could go that angle. But my question to you, in the spirit of Halloween, what is the Packers' scariest concern? And that's kind of hard to find. 6-2, life seems pretty good right now, but it hasn't come without some shortcomings.
There are some shortcomings. There's some things to be worried about. For me, it's kind of just as simple as the NFC North is a beast. All four of those teams really good, and you have to play each other. After this week on Sunday, a game against Detroit, 3 of their remaining 4 divisional games are on the road. If you are 6-3 at that point, those are 3 very good football teams. And this is kind of like the problem that the AFC has dealt with for a long time, because it's hard to get in, even with that additional spot, having 7 teams get into the playoffs now. There's just a lot of good football in the NFC. If you're 10-7, it's crazy to say, it's not a foregone conclusion you're in. It just makes these division games so much more important. And that's where I do understand people wanting Jordan Love to be back. You're paying him $200 million.
Yeah.
He's the face of your franchise right now. You want him on the field. But then that almost makes it even harder for me to justify. You have such an investment out there. Are you really comfortable going out there, possibly re-aggravating it, making it worse? Then this is all for naught. You can forget about the playoffs. It's done.
You and I have kind of revisited this conversation a couple times, but we are pretty much at the halfway point of the season, so I'm curious as to where you're at. Who makes the playoffs out of the NFC North right now? And all 4 is an acceptable answer, but keep in mind, majority of the games haven't been played yet. As you said, the schedule's only going to get tougher from here on out.
If you're putting me on the spot, I still believe in Minnesota. I think they're going to get in. The Lions are going to win this division. I think that's going to be true whether they win on Sunday or not. I do think the Packers still get in. I think the Bears, you're sorry for you.
No,
you're
I think
Bears
they're the
fan.
ones left out.
Everybody out here, let's go. Corey gets to be sad in February. I won't be.
Sad by January.
January, I guess.
Yeah.
End of Christmas Day, we'll get out there. I mean, because the Bears are a good football team, but I think they're a year away. They're a team that I think that maybe next year they get the 10 wins. This year probably more likely in that 8 or 9. So I'd say 3 of the NFC North.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably sprinkle in somebody either the NFC West or maybe Philadelphia sneaking in the East.
We are here at the YMCA of Dodge County from 4 to 6 here on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. The thing scaring me, I think, is the health of this, you already mentioned, talented but very expensive, up to $220 million after 4 years, quarterback. This is the second different injury in as many months where we're talking about whether or not Jordan Love's going to be out there playing. Now, granted, it does look more likely than it did yesterday. He was out there in a limited capacity, talking a little bit about how he does expect that there's a realistic chance he plays in a really high-stakes game back at Lambeau. I don't want to start questioning his durability yet, but it doesn't make me too happy to see, I've called him this before, $220 million man not out there on the field or out there on the practice field in limited capacity. First, it was the knee issue. We were all Twitter doctors a few weeks ago. Now it's the groin. I just don't like that different injuries have popped up, and we're still technically only in the second month of the season. This is the last day of the second month of the season, but second different injury too.
See, I almost kind of take a spin to that. I think I'd rather him have 2 aggravating tiny injuries than have the same one recurring time in, time
Between
out,
those,
time
sure.
in.
Yeah.
For sure. So, I mean, do I want Jordan Love to be banged up? No, of course not. Nobody does. But there is a bye week coming up. It's a great opportunity, given the fact that Malik played so well in his couple starts, that they're not in a position to rush him back. Again, 7-2, you beat the Lions this week. Yip, yip, hooray. The division feels very much in play. 6-3, you lose this game. Yeah, maybe you don't catch the Lions, but that is a very good football team in Green Bay still. There's no reason to panic. I am more of the conservative mind in this regard.
Yeah.
Take care of that asset.
I think it's the lesser of two evils. Yeah, no, I was on this side too, where I'm saying, why on earth would you put him out there if there's any chance of him re-aggravating either injury now? It looks like the knee has been fine the last couple of weeks. Just not ideal that he's been hurt twice now.
No,
8
it's
weeks
not.
in?
Yeah, I mean, again, durability questions. People are going to eventually start asking those things. But there's other things that I'm more worried about on this team right now. We're talking about scary things for the Green Bay Packers. How about the pass rush? We're talking about a team that really doesn't have anybody that's like stepped up beyond, 3 sacks to this point?
Yeah.
Rashawn Gary has 2.
Good week for
wasn't
Edgerrin
blocked.
Cooper, I will say.
Yeah, there you go. Great week for him. Defensive player of the week last week. So, yeah, there is signs of excitement. There's signs of life. But you need Rashawn Gary to come back. Jason Wilde said it'd be the trade acquisition that you didn't know you had if he does come back. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I'm starting to lose faith in this pass rush, starting to lose faith that they can put it together, Corey. And if they can't get to the quarterback, you're not going far in the playoffs.
No, the last thing you need is somebody like Jared Goff, who's having another remarkable season, baking a cake back there. And if you do want to play postseason football, that's now the expectation. We talked about this at the beginning of the year, and even when this show started a few weeks back, that this isn't house money anymore. This isn't, we'll see what we have with this Jordan Love guy. This is, the expectation is that we go in and we win at least a couple playoff games now.
I mean, that's bare minimum. I think that the expectations at large is probably to go and win the NFC. I really do think that there is such a confidence in Jordan Love, in this offense, that to fall short of the NFC title game, just even getting there would be a failure of a season.
Yeah, that's fair. We're going back and forth here. I want to kind of reintroduce some Halloween talk because I've been thinking about this all day.
Okay.
And Ben Bruss kind of brought it up as well, that he thinks it's weird that people dress up, specifically adults. He was ripping on you and me.
I don't know
ripping
what
on
you're
our
talking
entire
about.
office.
This is what I normally wear.
Why are people ripping on others for dressing up and being festive for a day? That is not what you normally wear, but there's nothing wrong with that. Same with me. Well, I have worn this before, but why? Well, you're someone who says the phrase, "I don't want to yuck somebody else's yum," and it's like I agree with that. I love dressing up. I'm never going to stop dressing up.
Well, you shouldn't. This is fun. This is a blast. Everybody should love Halloween. There's no reason to.
He's
you're
a
just
Scrooge.
You're robbing me of joy. Now, I say that, and then I say don't yuck yum. But then, you know what? I'm going to follow it right back up and be hypocritical. If you are the person on November 1st, shout out my sister, that is turning on Christmas music, that has her Christmas hat on, that's watching Christmas movies at 12:01 tonight, no, stop it. That's what Thanksgiving. There's another holiday. We got another holiday.
Don't go to any store ever right now. They
Don't
already
go to
have
a
Christmas
store in
stuff
August.
out.
What do you mean?
They already have Christmas stuff out right now.
They do it all the way back. I mean, you can get like Valentine's Day stuff in like mid-May. And the way they move it, like 5-6 months ahead.
Day. Maybe that's what it was.
Stop. Don't give me this sweetest day nonsense. We're just making up holidays now to rob me of my money.
Sweetest day is in October.
Oh, great. Yip, yip, hooray.
Holiday.
Sweetest holiday. Of course you would know. Corey Sparks.
I think, I think you're going to have to avoid stores for the next few weeks, to be honest.
I just won't. Just don't pay me money. I'll just,
When are you putting the tree up then?
Well, oh my gosh. Here. Do you want to hear a guilty confession? I don't have a tree. What am I going to do? At this point, it's going to be like that 70s show. Am I supposed to just drive up the road and take one off the side? I don't know if we'll have one.
You want to hear a guiltier confession? Mine's never come down. It's up 365 days a year.
I actually don't. That doesn't surprise me at all. You seem like the type that would have like Christmas decorations, lights on in like mid-April.
Oh, the lights aren't on. I just don't want to take it down.
Guys, we got a bonfire tonight. We got Santa lit up in the corner. It'll be a great time.
Careful how you phrase that.
But you got what I'm saying. I mean, you got the, you remember back, you wouldn't, you're like 23. They used to have these like hard plastic lights that would be on your front lawn that, I don't know, about 3-4 foot tall. There'd be like a little ghost for Halloween. You get pumpkins. You'd have Santa. You'd have the reindeer. You have the sleighs. Wade's out here. He's naughty. He's got them. Of course he knows. Of course you don't know. Yeah, I mean, you didn't know Princess Di. You don't know Halloween decorations. What do you know, Corey?
I know how to dress up. This is a pretty good giddy up.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
You did supply me with
was a good touch for Gardner.
The what?
The black bandana, good touch.
I did notice when I got to work here today, he never does eye black, so I did not need to do that part. I could have done even less.
Well, you didn't have to tell me. I thought that obviously you knew what you were doing. You did your homework, did your research.
Single photo out there with him of eye black, because I went to go on like X and Facebook and start to compare myself to him, like the arm folded photo shoot, and I'm like, oh, there's not a single.
You throw a football, maybe you should be comparing yourself to Gardner Minshew.
You throw the same distance as me with like 2 yards excess.
Wow, now we're rounding down. That's fine.
That's another thing that we can bring up. Ahead of the 14:30 ESPN Beaver Dam Slam at the Dam in a month, you and I have a little series that starts today.
Yes, so here in about 2 hours, we're going to be doing one-on-one in the courts right over here. And I tell you what, Corey, bad news for you.
Yeah.
You want to hear what it is? I woke up today.
Where is Waldo's jump shot? Yeah.
I woke up today. You are in trouble. I'm coming for you.
Okay. I'm shaking in my boots.
You should be, because guess what? Have we talked about the punishment yet?
No.
If we lose, whoever the loser is, Corey Sparks, whoever Corey loses to me, he is going to have to go and practice with the Beaver Dam High School basketball team.
Yeah, Tim Ladron already agreed to have you on. He's got a jersey with your name on it.
Well, I mean, he's going to have to repurpose that, because you out here, you're in good shape, but I think after a good basketball workout in town, you're going to be coming in with a little bit more, a humble swag to you.
So it's best of 3, so I guess this is my home match. We're indoors.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to go 1s and 2s to 21. No make it, take it. You and I agree that's a very, very dumb rule.
I want to play basketball. I want to play a real thing. I don't want to, all right, well, Wally scored 9 straight possessions, game's over. That's not fun. I want to play defense, too. It makes no sense to do make it, take it.
So we'll have the entire game. I might cut it up a little bit, throw a little score bug in the corner. So it'll be like, Corey 21, Wally 3, and then it'll go up on Daily Dodge TV so everyone can watch it back.
Yeah,
and you can deny the evidence all you want.
You won't be on tomorrow, so be careful what you say. I can manufacture history however I see fit.
Perfect. We'll go back to some more Packers talk when we come back. Who on the Lions, in the spirit of Halloween, are you most scared of? That and much more when we come back. This is the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN and Daily Dodge TV. And we welcome you back to the YMCA of Dodge County here on Halloween. Gardner Minshew and Waldo here with you. I love what Justin Wilsky's putting in the chat right now, but you might be a little hard to find in that costume.
I'm telling you,
You're
I'm
invisible.
the world champion hide and seeker.
We should have come back on Daily Dodge TV, and you should have just been out of frame.
Well, I mean, it's
mic.
kind of like the John Cena thing where it's like you can't see me. Yeah, you can't. You can't even find me. I got to have like a camp pole? That's not right. Flagpole, drilled it right in front of me. And as long as I do that, it's like
Drilled
the perfect hiding spot. I'm on top of the world.
So are you going to play me in one-on-one in that outfit?
No, I've got a different setup,
like
so
you
don't worry
should.
about that. No, I was going to say you wouldn't be
Because then
able
I
to find
can't see you. Exactly.
No,
Give
it's
yourself every
respectable.
advantage. You're going to need it.
I'm telling you, I'm going to manufacture history, so be careful what you say today.
What's your
because
score
tomorrow is coming fast.
What's your score prediction?
I'm not doing a score prediction. I'm not giving you
Oh,
bulletin
you don't want it
board
to come back to
material.
bite you?
I'm not giving you bulletin board
I'll
material.
give you something.
I'll just work you, 21-6. Everybody wins.
That's your prediction right there.
I didn't say it.
I'm going to say 21-13, I take it.
All right, that's fine. You can
Because
have
I want you to think you have a fighting chance. I don't want you to, quit before we go. Because it's 2 out of 3. And I don't want you to pull a forfeit and be like, oh, the hamstring's not feeling too
I'm
good.
not even listening.
Maybe we'll continue it at another time, but this whole slam at the damn promo, it's not going to work. No,
Literally not even
I want you to
listening to
think you have a decent chance, and then we'll go outside, and then when it's an official contest and we're in the second win, I'll win 21-7.
You've seen the gif before of Shaquille O'Neal dunking. I can't remember what poor
You can
guy.
dunk?
Oh, I basically can. But Shaquille O'Neal's dunking on this guy, and he literally comes in through. Heard it. He follows through and shoves him over, and guy gets up and throws a basketball full strength at him. That's going to be you today. I'm going to body you down there.
I'm
going to
dunk on you? That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. All right. So 21-6 is your
It's an early gut feeling. We'll see.
Okay, I'm going to go 21-13. All right. This is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Again, you can follow us on Facebook at ESPN Beaver Dam, Twitter at ESPN BD. The show Twitter is Dam Sports ESPN. You can also call into the show if you would like at 920-887-9595. Who scares you the most? Now we'll flip it to the other side. On the Lions, is there somebody? This is a loaded team. I mean, we talked about what's the NFC Championship preview going to be, who's going to be fighting to get to the Super Bowl. It could be these two teams. Even though they are in the same division, you kind of need some things to work out in the bracket. But this is a stacked team. Who scares you the most?
It's a loaded team. It's an NFC favorite for a reason. Who scares me most typically would have been Jameson Williams. But with him being out with his suspension right now, I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs. They've been nursing his workload. That's what they want to do. It's what Baltimore's talked about doing with Derrick Henry. They've done it to perfection. He's only averaging about 13 carries a game right now, but he's a huge threat out of the backfield too. He's a little spark plug. Wherever you want to put him, he's great. You could throw him in the slot. He's always great for about 3-4 receptions a game. Good for 8-9 yards, a catch, moving the change through the air, and then also on the ground. So that two-headed monster of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery terrifies me going in. So I'm just hoping Jair Alexander and that defense can slow up this pass attack so at least it hurts less when he's probably good for 13 carries, 100 yards.
The NFL would never do this, but I would love to see every single player that thinks they're the fastest to go up against one another and just win sprint 100 yards. I guarantee in that top 10 would be Jameson Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs.
They've got
two
a
very
fast
fast
team,
human beings.
Man. That's a fast team when they're healthy, when they have everybody out there. Jahmyr Gibbs, man. He's a guy that when they brought him in, they thought he'd be kind of like that 20-touch guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's getting there just through different means, being out of the backfield too. But they're doing a great job. This way, they can extend that life of him. Because running back, we know how it is. You get to 28, 29 years old, we start talking about it like they got to go into an old age home.
Right.
It's not the case with a guy like him, where he's going to have no tread, or for in his case, a lot more tread on the tires than a typical 28, 29-year-old back.
Well, and specifically what you're saying, that applies with the bell cow, right? Like a Derrick Henry or a Jonathan Taylor or a Matt Forte. You can go back to a variety of different examples. The reason he could be playing into his early 30s and still have some miles left on him, if you will, he's got somebody else who I am very scared of, and that's David Montgomery. 7 touchdowns so far this year, 4.5 yards per carry. But the most impressive part to me is how he's utilized by Dan Campbell in short yardage, goal-to-go situations. It's 3rd and goal on the 1. Everybody knows that David Montgomery is getting the ball, right? And he still plows people over. He is a big, tough, strong human being.
You hear thunder and lightning thrown around a lot.
This is
These
the
guys
telltale example.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a telltale example, but they have the coolest nickname combo tandem in the league right now in Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
For all the people, 90s babies
And
like me
Knuckles.
out there, I'm like, these
Is Knuckles
guys
the red
are
one?
cool. Of course he's the red
Okay.
one.
I
What
got
do
it
you
right.
mean when you see the red one?
I just wanted to clarify.
I swear you do this on purpose
I
to
guessed
rile me
right.
up. It's just every time
No,
I
I
say
used to
something,
play
I
Sonic
haven't heard of
Racing.
that. I don't know
played
what
it on
that
the-
is.
I played it on the Wii.
Oh, how many yards a carry does he average?
I was verifying.
Sure, whatever
If
you
I'm,
say.
if I'm taking a shot at you, you'll know.
All right, fine. Anyways, great tandem, great nickname. I'm going with the Lightning here. The faster guy, the guy that you are going to see on that 3rd and 4, where Jared Goff can't find anybody downfield. He checks down, second, third read. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the guy. David Montgomery, he's kind of that vulture.
Yeah.
Down at the end zone, he's a fantasy nightmare for
Right.
people like me. Because what happens? Jahmyr Gibbs gets you down to like the 3.
He'll work between
Here
the
comes
20s.
on David
Yep.
Montgomery. Let's get him in. Let's get a touchdown. That's how it always works.
That's fair. Well, this is going to be a key matchup. Packers and Lions for first in the NFC North at the pretty much halfway point for the NFL season. There is a great way to find key matchups, whether it be when they are, what they are, or where they are.
Yeah, you just said what they are, too, because lately I've been using the ESPN Where to Watch. It's almost like a TV guide for sports. You go to, I like the browser, you're an app guy, but I go ESPN.com, top right, you go to ellipses, click on that, Where to Watch. It's going to tell you exactly what you have on, where you can watch it. Maction's coming back. I'm a big Maction guy. Get Kent State, little Bowling Green action on a Tuesday night, 14 people in the stands, but you're warm on your couch enjoying your game, and you know exactly where to watch it because of ESPN Where to Watch.
That might have been the most backhanded compliment I've ever heard.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I am
People
so looking
people like
forward
watching
to
it on their
games where
couch.
there's 14 people in the stands.
Do you want to be out in 20-degree weather and watching in the sleet, or do you want to be watching at home, going through the Where to Watch app and get the game there? I'm telling you, I'm going that. I got pizza here, you know. Wade Bates, our pizza pirate, I know he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than go freeze my tail off, spend $12 on a cold hot dog. I don't need it.
We'll pivot back, and I just want to bring up a certain player. So we both went running back, which I think is really interesting. They both got their own skill sets. They're both utilized more than any other running back tandem, it feels like, in the entire NFL right now. Jahmyr Gibbs for you, David Montgomery for me. Is Jared Goff, who I believe has gotten a lot of hate in his career, at this point, he had the 18 for 18 game about a month ago now. Is he scarier than he's ever been?
He's probably as scary as he's ever been for sure. This is a great offensive line.
He's put in a really good spot.
He's in a
yeah.
fantastic spot. He has perhaps the best offensive coordinator in football right now, at least somebody who's going to be heavily sought after once we get this spring and those head coaching conversations start coming up. Ben Johnson's going to be at the front of the list. Jared Goff is in a dream spot, but I tell you, he's answering the bell. He's playing the best football of his career. 18 of 18, like you said last month. Even in these last few weeks when they're not asking him to do a lot, only had like 80-something yards against the Titans. 3 touchdowns still.
Yeah.
So even in this like limited role or when they kind of just take a little off his plate, he's answered it in tenfold so far.
Wasn't long ago that people were saying Jared Goff was banished to Detroit, right? And then Matt Stafford in his first year in that, by the way, loaded Rams team at the time. That was really a short-term goal, and they had achieved it. They got the Super Bowl that year. Everyone's going, wow. What a fleece. And it's kind of working out the other way now.
It's one of those rare instances where you can actually look back and say this was a win-win trade for everybody.
Both teams got what they wanted because
the Rams
Lions
got their championship.
Yep, the Lions were planning long-term.
Yep.
Yeah, they wanted a quarterback of the future. A lot of people were describing Goff as maybe a bridge guy, but here we are 2-3 years later, and they're pretty happy with their end of the bargain.
And even after you sign him to that massive contract, everybody always forgets. This is the same conversation it seems like we have every single year. The market keeps going up. It's the same with Jordan Love, highest paid quarterback in the league. In about 6 months, he's going to be like the 5th or 6th highest paid quarterback. This is how the market goes. Salary cap's going up $30 or $40 million again. Jared Goff is a dream quarterback for a team like the Lions, who now still have a lot of money to put elsewhere on that team. It's why they're going to be with the Packers in the NFC North race year in and year out. This division's going to be good for a long time.
I'll put you on the spot one more time here. So we're pretty much at the halfway point of the year, as I've said multiple times today now. Who is in the Super Bowl in a couple months from now? Who represents the NFC? And I know that's hard to say before this game even happens.
You're setting me
who
up.
Who would you go from each side?
I was going to say you're setting me up to be
Raiders
like run
and
out
who?
of town here. No, Raiders, sure. You play 30 games, they wouldn't win enough to get in. I tell you, though, because I think the Lions are coming out. I think it's going to happen. I think the Motor City Kitties finally get over the hump. They go on their magical storybook season. Feels like a perfect culmination of last year. Maybe against the Packers, maybe against the 49ers. Could be anybody, though, Corey. So for me, at least, from the NFC, it's got to be the Lions right now.
Oh, we have Levi in the chat right now saying 10 to 21 is the prediction. I'm going to have to know who that 21 is.
Levi's smart. I know he's got me. Big fella inside in the paint. Nobody's looking out.
Is that the Levi who called him before?
No, but it might be. I don't know if it is. I tell you what, Levi's smart either way.
Sure. All right.
I just know he's picking me.
There's no way. Okay. This is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN, Beaver Dam, and Daily Dodge TV. When we come back, Badgers keep players against Iowa. Not feeling the best after the Penn State matchup. A chance to bounce back. Your 8-4 prediction is still very much alive, especially if they do get that victory this upcoming Saturday, just a couple of days from now. This is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN and Daily Dodge TV. music right now, but it's getting me hyped up for our little 1v1 battle in about an hour and a half here.
You're going to get heartbroken. You keep bringing this up, and I feel like I
think my confidence is growing.
You know, when you were a little kid and you wanted to play your dad in a sport, and then you started talking a little bit too much when you were like 8 or 9 years old, and all of a sudden your dad turned into a 28-year-old.
Okay, you're not that old. Let's not do that.
I know, but like he turned into like a 28-year-old and then all of a sudden beat you by like 20 in whatever your favorite game is.
Yeah.
That is what's about to happen.
No.
You're about to push me into old man like dad mode where I have to beat you, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it. So I'm going to be throwing elbows.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do anything I
Tell
can
me
to
your
get the
game
win.
plan. You've been dodging all day because I asked you before. I was like, what's the best part of your game? What are your attributes? And you're like, oh, I don't know. And then I was like, okay, predict the score. And you're like, I'm not predicting the score. And I'm like,
why am I giving you bulletin board material? Sorry, you guys have a bad operation running on your program.
And then I'm like, who's the favorite? And you're like, oh, I don't know. You don't want to address what's going to happen. You're doing that thing where it's like you have an event coming up and you're kind of dreading it. You don't even want to think about it. You just want to get in, get out, clock in, clock out.
Bill Belichick doesn't say anything for his
We're
games.
on to Cincinnati.
He's the best coach of all time. I do it, and I'm somehow a coward.
You're dodging.
I'm not dodging
It's
anything.
okay.
We'll talk. I'm telling
I can
you.
take it easy on you if you want.
We're playing again to 21. I don't know if you'll score.
We are at the YMCA of Dodge County. They're doing trunk or treat here. Spectators kind of starting to file in here at 4:35. I've seen Mario already. You didn't see this yet, Wally, but Aiden just sent me a picture of him. Aiden Voigt, our producer, back at the station. He is dressed up as Bowser. That's a pretty good outfit.
That's a good one.
So he's got like the spikes on his back. You are Waldo. I know some people can't see you. And I am Gardner Minshew, where's Gardner Minshew in the MVP race right now? Like third?
Probably behind the bell that just passed us here about a moment ago.
Yeah.
I was going to say he probably can go out there and get a win with the Raiders just as easily.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so, we have had some great costumes already roll by. We're going to have to keep an eye on
some
it.
tables around us here.
A couple princesses just went by. We had Elsa, Frozen, one of my favorite movies ever. Not even lying. That's 100% fact. Love Frozen. Saw Elsa. Great movie. Know that we got another one here. Then, of course, Beauty and the Beast. It's like the old school. If you're going of the original day and age princess movie, the first ones, it's got to be Beauty and the Beast.
What are the live betting odds that we see Princess die today?
Well, you think that it's the same universe as these princesses, so I guess we have a good shot.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't recognize her, unfortunately.
You wouldn't.
No,
it's
you'd have to point her out for me. Okay. We will move on to Badgers football. Kind of let us down last week. I know you had the hope of... it was kind of the same storyline as the USC game. I was riding it with you. I was not riding the USC game ever until we hit halftime, and then I was going, 2-possession lead going into half. We're feeling pretty good, and then got blown out in the second half. The Penn State game, I actually was convinced by you and Hunter Vaughn when he jumped on. Like, middle of the week, I was not as much of a hater. I felt like we were in a decent spot. The blowout over a decent Rutgers team at the time had me sky high with confidence. And then what happened. This isn't me rubbing it in. Like, I still took Penn State. I took them by 10. But I was not over here saying they don't belong on the same field, right? Anyway, 5-3. They go up against, that was just a self-defense statement.
Yeah, I was going to say, there was a self-defense statement
there were disclaimers everywhere there, right? So the Badgers up against a very tough Iowa team this week that's had, the same brand for the last 20 years. We're not going to score much, but forbid if you score. Badgers key players or Badgers scary players against Iowa that you think really need to play a big role in a game that might not come with a whole lot of offense.
It's got to be Tawby Walker. Start there because no surprise. This is going to be a total shock to you. His 3 lowest games rushing this year were the 3 games that this team lost. You got to get the run game. I'm tired of this air raid. It isn't working. Get back to who you are. Be Wisconsin. Be physical. This team hasn't been physical on either side of the ball right now. Listen to this. I couldn't get it. I'm going on a rant. I apologize, Corey, ahead of time. I was going through Badgers defensive stats, looking for trends, talking points, what have you. Get a load of this. The team has forced 3 fumbles all year. Nobody on the team has more than 2 sacks. There's no physicality on this football team on either side of the ball. I'm the biggest Luke Fickell defender in the world, to a fault. You know I am. But something has to change. We have to see them perform in games like this. They haven't beaten the teams that we thought they at least could shock the world against.
Don't say we. Be careful with that we.
Yeah. At least we, as in me and Hunter, the wise ones of the show. And we were on that. We were wrong. Hand up. Credit to me. I was wrong.
Yeah. Accountability.
Accountability.
Buddy.
You got to beat Iowa. You have to win this football game.
If we're playing your game, you do have to beat Iowa. Because what is the one loss they can afford? It's going to have to be Oregon. Like, if we're going to sit here and look at the last few games, that's the one where you'd spend the loss on. The number 1 team in the country right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, is like I understand that this is a tougher conference now than it ever has been before. But the Badgers are a team that 8 wins. I'm not talking about if they lose to Iowa and go 7-5. 8 wins is unacceptable.
Yeah.
This is a program where the bar was set, and it's been slowly falling down, slowly trickling down. It was a 10-win program, a team that was fighting for championships or Big Ten championships, the right to go to the Rose Bowl.
Running into your team more times than not at the end.
Now they're going to be playing on behalf of the Cajun Shrimp in the Outback Bowl. That's what's frustrating to me. This is too proud of a program to be this bad, not physical. That's like what Wisconsin has laid the foundation of, the brick by brick of what this team was, is physicality, and it's not there right now.
Well, that was your main argument when teams like UCLA and USC entered the conference. You're going, that's fine, you can play your spread out brand of football, but should be the more physical team. And that just hasn't been the case so far.
No, I mean, again, last Saturday, they throw that pick six. They go down after a good return and get a field goal. That's going to go down as the worst throw of the year. That literally hit him in the chest. I know he didn't see him, but it was one of those things. You're 3rd and 14, inside your own 10, the way the offense is going. Yeah. Trust the defense. Instead, you throw a pick. It completely flipped that game on its head. They never got it back. They had the long return, got a field goal. They needed to punch it in there. But again, it turns into this team. Not the resiliency. We talk about Beaver Dam all year being a resilient club. Every time something goes wrong, it seems like there's somebody there ready to step in, make a big play, turn the tide. Badgers haven't had that. When things have gone wrong, they've gone really bad. Yeah. 49-3 in the second half of games in those 2 losses. 70-10 if you include Alabama. It's just unbelievable right now how this team has fallen off.
Full transparency with that pick six. Before I discovered where to watch, I was watching on different streaming services that are maybe a minute or 2 behind, and I knew something bad happened because my neighbor below me just started screaming bloody murder.
Those are all. That was the worst part about having those
just went
streams.
wrong.
I literally have it on DND, do not disturb, when I'm watching.
Hopefully
this
guy's a Minnesota fan or something, but I'm like, nope, that was probably the Badgers.
When I'm watching the Buckeyes or the Packers on Sunday, I have do not disturb on until it's a commercial and look at my phone, because otherwise I'm paranoid that I'm going to be looking down. I'm going to have a text from Charlie Dern sarcastically talking about the Packers and hey, Malik Willis.
So that's the do not disturb, but then you hear the neighbors screaming and you're like,
that's how I knew that Malik Willis and the Packers moved down the field. As I looked down, and he was like, or Malik Willis is going to win the game or something to that effect. Like, oh, cool, what's going to happen? 50 yards downfield, no problem.
Yeah, 100%.
Get rid of the streaming service.
Well, so
that's
it's like,
a lie.
well, that's why you overwatch, exactly. Shameless plug. But so I'm thinking of like my setup for watching, or when I was in my olden days watching on those streaming services that were 2 or 3 minutes behind the feed. You need the do not disturb. You got that part off. And then I think I have to wear headphones because I have to wear something, earmuffs, something to stop myself from hearing everyone around me. Because it's happened with the Packers games too. I heard a huge cheer when the Malik Willis throw down the near sideline to pretty much ice the game against the Jags happened. I'm like, something good happened. Unless I have like a random fan for a different team like the Bengals downstairs, I can guess what happened.
I'll tell you, one of the perks of where I live, it's a former assisted living facility, and I absolutely love it. My neighbors are great.
Yeah, you really skew the data over there, don't you?
I big time skew the data. And I tell you, if it wasn't for this, the only drawback of being here at the Y today, this wonderful setup we have, is that I'm missing a social with my entire apartment.
Go!
Where everybody was
You're not going to win the one-on-one anyway.
Bring your October feast. It was like Thanksgiving but Halloween. I'm like, I'm not going to lie.
I'll be fine.
I kind of want to see if my neighbors dress up for this.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
I bet they do.
I mean, that's what I want. I want to imagine that there's like an Elsa walking around that's like 85 years old. That's what I need in my life. But that's okay. We'll get a recap from some of the neighbors. But what I was saying is that I don't have to hear any of the screaming. I don't get any of that.
No.
I just get to quietly watch my game, enjoy my Sunday. If anything, it's me that's being annoying to like Janice down the hall, or
they hear you throwing yourself
Betty
into the
Lou
wall
from, like,
as Akron
down
scores.
The second floor. Yeah. So if anything, hand up, it's on me.
Coming up on the show, I'm going to give you my scary player for Wisconsin in hopefully a good way coming up. Halloween movies, what you dress up as a kid. This is the first time I've been this football player. I've been a football player before. Is this your first you said this is years in the making. This is the first time you've done this get-up before, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things.
That's
I just kept kicking the can down the road.
One day.
And then here we are. We finally got to the one day.
We will also, of course, be talking about the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers football team. Level 2 matchup against Kaukauna tomorrow. Coverage will start at 6:40. Kickoff scheduled for 7. Going to be a little chilly. We're down into football weather territory. We've been, I was talking to head coach Brian Gregory for Lomira earlier today, and he goes, dude, we've been spoiled. Like, it is not supposed to look like that outside as we introduce ourselves to November football. There should be snow on the ground right now.
Shout out Taylor Swift. Yeah. Appreciate it.
And then looking on, Halloween candy draft reveal. That will be going on. And then we do out of bounds as we do on every single Thursday. All right. My Badgers key player. scary player who's going to have to spook Iowa. I'm going to go Will Pauling. This is someone
the bar is so low.
What do you mean?
The bar is so low. What do you mean? What do I mean?
Did you not see Will Pauling in the Reliquist Bowl last year? And that's not a backhanded
The
thing either.
Reliquist Bowl. That's what we're talking about.
13
I was going to say, where did they even play that game? Could you tell me? It's probably on Tulane's campus.
13 receptions in the last 2 games. Remembering last year when he did have a couple ridiculous plays against a really good LSU squad in the Reliquist Bowl. Braden Locke, despite the pick 6, seems to be taking a liking to him. I think he's personally my favorite Badgers receiver right now. I do think he's a complete receiver. Great hands, good route runner. I want to see him break a few more tackles. He's teetering around 10 yards per reception. So you're looking at someone who's running those short route combos. I'm going to dial you up in our draft here, offense versus defense for Candy in a bit. So I'll kind of teach you those things, you Arrowhead alum.
Thanks.
And I just want to see some more yak. You know?
You definitely need to see more.
Yeah,
He's
with
only averaging
Will
10 yards a catch right now.
Yeah.
38 receptions on the year. So he's got the volume, but we need to see more.
Well, and that's my thing. This is what we've heard all year long. If this Phil Longo air raid offense is going to work, you need some more vertical threats. We saw Tretch Kekahuna have a phenomenal game against Rutgers not too long ago. We need Will Pauling, who a lot of people I think were really high on, including this Badgers team, because of his performance the last handful of games last year, albeit a disappointing year for the unit as a whole. There was so much promise there that maybe you'd expect him to have more than... That's my only critique. Like you said, he's got the volume. Maybe you expect more than 10 yards of reception, though. You need more of those. If it's going to be an air raid offense, vertical plays.
The hard part about that is that you're playing on Iowa defense that's
as
fundamental as it comes. Like,
yeah.
They don't miss tackles. They're not giving up yards after catch. So if he is going to have these, 6 catches, you just need to hope that they're a little farther downfield. Don't need to see a 6-catch, 38-yard kind of game.
No, you need more chunk plays, and as you alluded to already, Wally, I mean, those chunk plays are going to come into premium when you play against a really disciplined Iowa squad where if they have done anything right in the last 20 years, it has been hit you hard on the other side of the ball.
Oh, so, that defense is unbelievable. Year in and year out, they're always physical. Talk about physical. That's my biggest concern going into Saturday is can they meet and match that level of physicality? We kind of got down on them before that Rutgers game. It was coming off 2 losses. We heard, I was going to say, Wilde Bill call in and tell us that the Badgers had no chance in hell to get a win.
Big Jim?
Big Jim, yeah, I was going to say.
Did we just pull the cloak off?
Well, I was going to say Wild Bill, Big Jim, they sound the same, so I was just
if you mix up the letters, they say the same thing.
It's basically the same, so my bad, Big Jim, that's on me, hand up. But, no, this is again, it's an Iowa defense that's so physical. That offensive line has to be able to match the physicality, otherwise we're going to be looking at one of those ugly Iowa games that they want to play in where it's 20-13 and you're playing from behind from the second half on.
The last thing we need to do is report on another Saturday football game where Wisconsin was the less physical team. So that's going to be the big story of it. 2 teams that have usually played each other pretty close. This is the Damn Sports Show. Corey Sparks, Wally Lukashinsky, or I guess Gardner Minshew and Waldo, although you can't see him, here with you. We're going to go seasonal when we come back. We've kind of been poking at it for a bit. Best Halloween movies, what you dressed up as a kid. Maybe we'll power rank those, and some phenomenal costumes around us here at the YMCA of Dodge County. We'll be right back in a few here on 1430 ESPN and Daily Dodge TV. welcome back to the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. We are here at the YMCA of Dodge County for a 2-hour show. Waldo here is stuck with me for double his usual sentence, and then we're going to play one-on-one. I'm very excited for that. Okay, before we go into anything else, Meta AI, which is like the equivalent for community notes
Cooked you.
on Twitter, cooked me. I was mentioned in one of the promotional posts ahead of this program, and it says Corey Gardner Minshew Sparks, that's my middle name, mentioned in the Facebook post, seems to be a sports broadcaster or personality, possibly with ESPN Beaver Dam 1430 AM. Without more information, it's really challenging to provide more detailed sports background. Okay, however, Gardner Minshew is actually the name of an American football quarterback who currently plays for the Indianapolis Colts in the NFL.
Yeah,
so,
I drilled it.
2 false things there.
No, at least one.
I seem to be.
You seem to be. There's no confirmed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything. I don't know. I've done a lot of radio myself. You show up from time to time. I don't know what you're officially called. But
I don't know what your title is.
Apparently, AI doesn't think that you are, and I'm one that I'm all about the like robots. I've seen iRobot. I'm not playing that game. I'm going to, you know what? If they think that you're not, that's fine by me.
We should have brought our little magic 8-ball and asked who's going to win the one-on-one today.
Only if the AI approves. I'm telling you, I'm getting ahead of that. When they're taking out all the people in 15, 20 years, I'm going to be the one that they're like, we'll allow this guy to come around and be like our butler or something.
Of course. So this is going to be a shorter segment, but it will be seasonal. And maybe we kind of let this bleed into the next one, too. Halloween movies that you grew up watching, or maybe ones that you still go back and reference. Yes, we do know that. So there's a note that says Gardner plays for the Raiders. AI thinks Gardner plays for the Colts still, which AI also doesn't think that I work for this company.
Well, you seem to. You seem to work here. The key has worked. We don't know if it will tomorrow. But to this point, the key has got you in the building.
Yep. So to this point, the key has gotten you in the building. Which Halloween movies did you grow up watching? And which ones do you still maybe go back to that you're like, that's an oldie but a goodie?
This is like picking kids. I struggled with this. I love Halloween movies. I got to start at least with the kids ones. I got to spitfire a few. Corpse Bride, perhaps the best kids scary movie of all time. I still get up and start dancing to the music every single time. Fantastic. Nightmare Before Christmas.
I have seen that one.
That's kind of a joint. I don't even know if you call that more Halloween or more Christmas.
Half and half. Yeah. Tim Burton.
I would say... See, we have our videographer over here, our man, Justin Wilski, Ninja. He's telling us that it is a Christmas movie. I don't know. We're feeling Christmassy?
Are you a Coraline guy?
Not really.
No.
It doesn't do it for me.
That creeped me out. It still would creep me out.
That one doesn't do it. Tim Burton in general, I think, is fantastic. But then if you start getting into a little bit older, I love me some Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah.
It obviously
I've never seen the next one on here. Okay.
What, Salem's Lot? Yeah, that's like the original vampire story back in the day. Carrie, everybody knows about. You know, blood gets poured on her, burns the whole school down. Spoiler alert for all the people haven't seen a movie that's been out for 40 years. But yeah, and then of course, Christine as well. I love that movie. You got a random evil car that has a brain chasing you down. Evil slasher kind of 80s movies. You know, it fills me up.
Okay.
This time of year, fantastic.
I'm going to say, like, if you go back to when I was a kid, what did I really like to watch and what spooked me? Monster House to me was second to none.
It was a good movie.
I absolutely love that. The whole, like, get off my lawn storyline to teach us to, I guess, stay off each other's I look back at some of those and I'm like, what were they trying to teach us? Outside of, like, stay off other people's property, I don't know if there was a lesson there. I think it was
might have just been a fun movie.
Yeah, maybe there was no lesson. But then you get the whole lore of the house actually being, like, wasn't it his wife used to be in the circus, and then she was buried below the house, and then she became the house? Spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Yours is not from 1986, so you, and I think it was 86 for Carrie, Shot in the Dark.
Yeah.
But yours, unfortunately, is in the last 15 years, so you might have actually spoiled one for us.
Halloween Town was phenomenal, too, for
really?
a kid series. Cursing the entire... We're just going to shame an entire series.
I'm about to...
the whole town was cursed. It was scary.
I'm going to rustle some feathers here.
I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, but all of your favorite things suck.
No, Halloween Town, not that good. If you're like putting it in the same conversations like Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus is in a different stratosphere. Different stratosphere. Halloween Town comes on. I'm like, cool. I'll read a book. Like, things are great. Let me pick up one of these, rom-com books. Make me get a little teary-eyed. That's what I like to do.
The Conjuring, one of the scarier series.
That's a transition. Halloween Town to The Conjuring.
We're going variety here. We need a good palette.
It's a good one. I like the paranormal movies.
There we go. I think those are good. Yeah.
that was the transition there? Yeah. Nicely done there, Corey. Ring. How about The Grudge? The Grudge 2? Those tormented me when I was growing up.
That.
It's like the hair's coming through the wall. I got to whisper. I'm not trying to scare too many of the youngins here. But we got hair coming through the walls. It's brutal.
Yeah. You're stuck with us for 2 hours today. So here's the deal. When we come back, we'll go over what we wore growing up. What we're still wearing now, I guess. One more hour of the Dam Sports Show coming up next here on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Sketch. I just held my finger up for like 45 seconds.
I've been sitting here.
The show intro was going again. Well, yeah, you don't know. You don't have.
Well, back when you were playing football, you had to run through that like banner that everybody was holding up, and then they're just like, wait, and then randomly it just go. It was like Braveheart. I felt like I had William Wallace.
I had to make sure the show intro was done for our radio listeners.
I was ready to go. I'm chomping at the bit.
I could tell you're like, oh, his hand's up. Clearly, we're gonna start in about 5 seconds, and then after about 20, you just started laughing. You're like, this is a joke.
Well,
what are we doing?
This is a normal thing not a normal thing, I should say. We're going into our second hour.
Yeah.
So we're down here at the Y.
You're already sick of me, so this should be great.
Can't stand you. And I'm looking around. There's just some fantastic costumes here. I already got to see an Ash Ketchum and a Pikachu.
We've got
to see a great logo, man.
Fortnite.
Fantastic. We got everybody.
So Fortnite's a game that the kids play now.
Is that what it is?
15. Yeah.
Thanks, Corey.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
You're welcome.
that.
1976 for that movie you were bringing up, Carrie?
Yeah, that's not a big deal. I was only 10 years off. It's not a big deal. Nothing really happens in a 10-year period of time.
Again, shout out to our whole crew for helping us get out here. Jack Wilsky on the pumpkins. These are awesome.
How crazy are these?
Justin
are
Wilsky
so good.
on the video as well. Aiden Voigt back at the station. Oh, I just got some fake blood on my hands.
Sure, fake.
So
you're starting to panic. The body is rejecting what is going to happen to you here in about an hour and a half.
So we were talking about really good Halloween movies. I still can't believe that you're like dismissing Halloween Town, but you know, we all have our faults.
I'm right. There's can you tell me?
What would you rate it out of 10? Just so we're clear.
4. Can you tell me what is special about Halloween Town when you compare it to the other kid Halloween movies?
The whole town is cursed, and I feel like that one, if you go back and watch it, there's still a decent chance it scares you. You look so unamused right now.
It's literally, Hocus Pocus blows it out of the water. Same era of movie, it's not even
Okay,
close.
two things can be good. We don't have to go
But that's the thing.
Because
that's
this
the problem
one,
is I'd be lying to say they're both good.
because
I'm
this
not
one's
a liar.
spectacular. This one can't fit. We're out of room.
I'm not a liar.
This isn't
I'm
the tier
honest.
system.
No, and I'm sorry. Hocus Pocus blows Halloween Town out of the water.
I'm not saying Hocus Pocus isn't great.
Well,
Halloween Town
you
is
better
still
not
very
be saying
good.
that.
Very
That's
good.
fine. You can be wrong. You have the right. We live in a great place where you have the right to be wrong.
Okay, all right. All right, so you don't like good movies. Let's see if we can go over to different Halloween outfits that we grew up wearing, and we'll see what I did that you also hate. We'll start with
I'm
you,
excited
actually.
for that.
We'll
Yeah,
let
that's
you
smart.
set the bar,
Smart.
sir.
So I had a couple of my favorites.
Horrible.
I only get a picture of this one.
Pathetic.
M&Ms. I was an M&M when I was a little kid. I got to be Tigger while my brother was Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
But here's the problem. If I'm not mistaken, you are an only child, right?
No,
You're not.
no. Thank you for ignoring the existence of my brother, though.
See, you and I both ignoring each other's brother is going to be a great recurring
Yeah,
bit.
that's fair.
It really is.
I just discovered you had a brother like
and
what,
now
a
this
week
is
ago?
actually opening things up for me.
Yep.
You are the youngest, aren't you?
I'm the oldest.
You
so
are the
0
oldest.
for 2.
Right,
Stay
you're
hot,
oldest
Wally.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, stay hot.
Yep.
Hey, yeah. Well, it's nice to meet you, Corey.
Oh, yeah, nice to meet you too. So I have like 2 half brothers that are older than me, but then my one like full 100% blood brother is younger than me.
Well, the reason I bring it up is that you would probably remember. What was the age gap difference for you when you were growing up?
6.
6. All right, it might be a little harder.
So aren't you and your sister like 6 years apart?
Yeah, but like my brother was the one that is like sticking out to me. Like
Okay.
when you were growing up as the oldest sibling, so you might relate to this.
Yeah.
You can go out. It doesn't matter how good your costume is. Everybody always is doing the, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
he's so
Adorable.
cute. Oh, he
He's
looks
adorable.
so great. I'm like, I'm scary. I'm Darth Vader. And they're
Yeah.
like, look, he's cute little R2-D2.
Uh-huh.
Like, look at his little cheeks.
We're gonna give him
I'm
extra
right-
candy.
Exactly. And I'm here getting like the junior mints while my brother gets like a king size like Snickers or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, this is disrespectful. This is wrong. And I'm telling you, oldest children, I'm standing on the table for us. We deserve better.
Uh-huh.
Our costumes are good too, Corey.
You fight the good fight.
I'm going to fight the good fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to battle for everybody here.
So Eminem, Tigger, Darth Vader. Did you have a favorite that you're like, yeah, that one was the best?
You know, this one's tough because it was my last year of like being like a kid growing up.
Uh-huh.
My favorite show ever is House.
Okay.
I love it. It's the best doctor sitcom of all time. It's not close to me. But I had like a little prescription bottle filled with Tic Tacs. I had a cane. I dressed in a suit. And I'm like running around with my cane, like oversized looking Severus Snape. It was great. So Dr. House, when I was probably like 11 or 12, was my favorite.
Wait a minute.
Do you not know who Dr. House is?
Is this from Harry Potter? Because you said Severus Snape.
Oh, I know. I had like the bat-looking coat. I was running around with my sport coat as Dr. House. And it
Okay.
was floating up around me like I was Severus Snape, evading Hogwarts.
Okay, I have one question. It's really going to make you mad. Where is that from?
House
Dr. House.
is
Yeah,
from House.
Okay, what is House?
The best doctor TV show of
Got
all
it.
time. How many times
Grey's
do I have
Anatomy?
to say this? You
Grey's
have
Anatomy?
headphones.
Grey's Anatomy?
Grey's Anatomy, not even the same stratosphere.
You're
General
right.
Hospital, see you later. The Good Doctor, next. There's nothing.
Cold
House
takes today, man.
is the best doctor show of all time.
I do like that you're getting riled up right now because it's going to
I'm
burn.
ready to run through a
It's going to
wall.
burn energy, and then when we go out there and it's like 7-2, you're going to go, I can't finish the one-on-one.
Sure, that's great.
All
Whatever you say, I'm ignoring you. Your favorite Halloween costume growing up?
So I'll go through a list, and then we'll go, yeah, this was the best one. I'll start with the best one, and then we'll kind of go down.
All right, I'm ready to judge you.
I was the Scream, right? Like,
Did
the
you
killer.
have the mask that
Yeah,
had the...
that you would like squeeze
you
the blood
pump
and it would start from the forehead.
That one was
That
like
was legendary.
double platinum for 1 year.
So
every kid... I
yes.
think I actually did that 1 year, believe it or not.
So you were talking about like, oh, you've got the other sibling. Oh, they're so cute, and you're like, I'm scary. That was me that year. I'm like, I'm scary.
Yeah,
There's
like, look
no
at
way
me.
I'm not
My mask
scary.
is bleeding. Like, shh, shh, shh. I
There's-
can see it, like pumping the thing. You almost break the thing because you did it so often, or at least I did.
Yeah. You're
That's
like,
a great one. I'm glad that you actually remember that too. I thought it was just like a 1 year period of time that happened there.
so I've been rewatching them, right? And Scream 3 came out in 2000. I was born in 01. So it's like I grew up when the back half of the series was going on. I was familiar with it. But yeah, no, legendary costume. Like I would 10 out of 10 do it again. And that's one where you don't go like, oh, I can't wear that anymore. A 90-year-old could wear that. That'd be amazing.
I expected to have to shame you. I'm
Yeah.
actually impressed a little
Thank
bit,
you,
Corey.
sir.
That's a very startling surprise for me.
So then we go, Batman, And that was probably like 4 or 5-year-old Corey.
Batman literally isn't a superhero. He's just rich.
Legos were in there. I think I saw a Lego character walking by earlier. Skeleton. And then I would do like your run-of-the-mill NFL player, right? So, yeah. But it was never like Gardner.
Who was your run-of-the-mill NFL player?
No, it would literally just be like a youth football jersey, no name on it or anything, and then like an orange helmet.
I am a football player.
Yeah. It wasn't like a specific player.
Wow, you were even a little bit of a nerd back then, huh?
Mm-hmm,
Who goes as a faceless football player?
Well, I was Corey Sparks, household name. Yeah.
I am actually in disbelief.
For you, All-American.
Who as a child says, who do I want to be for Halloween? I'll be a nameless football player.
I'm going to find a kid and you're going to feel horrible. I'm going to find a kid
I dare you to find even one person for it.
I'm going to find a kid that is a football player without a name on it, and I would love you to continue this conversation with him or her.
We've got awesome costumes all throughout
That's true.
here. This is unbelievable. Great turnout here. This is just such a fun time.
I would give you props, but I can't see you.
Yeah, exactly. You can't see me. I feel like John Cena in that regard.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking around, just trying to duck and find. Notice how there was a million other things in Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
I never knew that until I was older. It was just, where is Waldo? And then I'm moving to the next page. There's like the wizard. There's like a dog.
Yeah, you're one of many.
There's like hats and stuff. Like
Yep.
I never realized that it was like a whole book of things to find. I thought it was just me.
I don't
selfishly.
know why Waldo just stuck selfishly. Doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah, well, everybody is a kid. You know how kids are. I was
Yeah.
Waldo. I was Walrus. Anything with a wall that you could put out there, that was it. Kids are not very creative at some points.
What's the best Halloween costume in 2024?
Ooh. Oh, sorry, I don't have candy. We got trick-or-treaters walking up here.
We need to be equipped with candy.
Yeah, absolutely. Take one of those right there.
If there's anything up here, you could take them. Absolutely.
But yeah,
Take the decorations.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Great decorations, too. We got Twizzlers, Kit Kats. We got suckers. We got, Tootsie Pops. Hey, we'll get to that, too, because we actually have a draft coming up here in less than 30 minutes.
Yes, we've got the draft board back here. You're accusing me of having an illegal formation.
You literally are covering up 2 of your wide receivers. It's trips right with 3 guys on the line. We'll talk about that
So 3
plenty
means
later.
trips. It means like triple?
Well, nice job.
Yeah.
Stay hot.
All right. Did you answer it yet? Best costume of 2024.
I see. That's tough. I feel like you always got to go topical, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen like a lot of social media trends.
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Like, what is trending right now?
Gosh,
That also isn't like cringy.
Well, that's the thing. You're gonna have all those viral
Gardner
videos when
Minshew.
people are doing like the lady
his
that's
MVP
pointing on
season.
the plane. That person's not real. You have
That person is not real.
yeah. There's like a lot. Every time you can find these viral videos on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. A lot of people love to do that. As Ninja's looking around, you can see we have a packed house today.
I see a little cow. That's fitting for
I see a little
Wisconsin, the
fireman.
Midwest.
We got flappers. We got everything out here. This is unbelievable.
Oh, I was a Power Ranger growing up. Were you ever a Power Ranger?
Ooh, what color
Yeah.
Power Ranger were you?
Green.
Green's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not purple, but hey, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other Power Rangers around here. That's one
That's
of those
a
two where
dying.
it's like,
it's
is
on
that
the
going to be gone?
endangered species list.
Is it like
for
the kid's
Halloween
only wearing it
costumes.
because the parent is like, yeah, flash to the past?
Probably. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing too. I mean, when we were growing up, it was just like everybody. It was like 1 in 10 people were, and it was, you just gotta hope that you have a different color. I know that every kid like our age growing up had a crush on the pink Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Now it's gone. I haven't seen a Power Ranger. I feel like in years. It's on the endangered species list.
Did you ever do an occupation like I'm a doctor?
I was
Anything
Dr.
like that?
House. Remember?
Well, I don't know what that is.
Of course you don't. You
Or
were
like
a faceless football player.
A lawyer?
A faceless football player.
Yeah. Well, that's like a way of life. And I wasn't faceless.
Ball
I was
is
Corey
life.
Sparks. Ball is life.
Ball is life. I'm Corey Sparks,
Ball is
football
life.
player.
Ball don't lie.
Everybody was probably even asked you to. Who were you supposed to be?
Yeah.
Nobody. I'm me. Oh.
No, they didn't ask
cool.
because they had common sense. There was no name on there.
Great. Take a hot tamale, kid.
No, you should have. Oh, I can't wait to do
Take
the
a
candy draft.
dum-dum.
I can't wait to do
Fits
the candy
you.
draft. I just realized. So I was like putting the candy draft, my part of it together. We don't have a draft class. We were just picking out of thin air, aren't we?
Oh, I have mine. I've done advanced scouting. Just because you showed up ill-prepared doesn't mean that I did. You're going to be having, like, nerds playing quarterback. No, not me. I'm ready. I have a list. I have them well thought out positionally. My defense is going to lock you up.
So previewing the rest of the hour, in the upcoming block, we'll be talking very deservingly so about the Beaver Dam High School football team. Chance to get into the quarterfinals for the first time since 1982. Neither of us were born at that point.
Thank
there
you.
you go.
Thank you. It's
I didn't
taken
do
you
the,
6 weeks.
I wasn't there. Oh, neither were you.
Every time. But 6 weeks is better than nothing. We're learning. We're living together. You can hear we've kind of got that like work relationship down where I feel like you're a work wife at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to readjust. I'm starting to come back and,
There
you
we
know,
go.
check the mentals, check the chickens, as Marshawn Lynch says.
Exactly. We're getting to know each other a little bit more. So we'll kind of go over head coach Brock Lindy's resume the last couple of years. We'll go over keys to the game. We did that before Menasha, and clearly they listened to us, right? That's why they came out and won. Definitely not. We didn't bring the Beaver here. What a crime.
We didn't bring the Beaver, but we will bring the boom.
And
that
then,
should have been. That's your answer for Halloween.
That's the best one.
Be the Rizzler. Or be, what are the other ones?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. I'll do the dance for us when we come back. We're all right.
And then the next 2 blocks, we'll be doing our Halloween candy draft reveal. So for you football fans, I have 11 members of the offense. Whether Wally agrees with where they are in the field or not doesn't really matter. And then Wally has the 11 members of a defense. That'll probably take up a good, 20, 25 minutes.
Absolutely.
You guys can take whatever you want.
Take whatever you want.
And then,
I'm telling you, the trick-or-treaters are coming all over the place now. It's nuts.
And then we'll finish the show up with Out of Bounds. So something that kind of grinds your gears. I have one that's seasonal, and then I've got one that just happened in the World Series a couple of days ago. So.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to it. Mine is very much about something we'll be talking about soon. You guys are welcome.
I was going to say, are we running low? No, we'll keep
Might be.
restocking. We'll grab some more in the break. We are at the YMCA of Dodge County here. This is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN, Beaver Dam, and Daily Dodge TV. Beaver Dam Football Talk when we come back. Coming at you live from the YMCA of Dodge County, the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN, Beaver Dam, and Daily Dodge TV. Corey Sparks or Gardner Minshew today. Wally Lukashinsky or Waldo, if you can find him. Police presence behind us at one point for various reasons that we will not. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so they're doing trunk or treat here from 5 to 7. So we're kind of seeing different, very creative costumes filing through the frame. Feel free to tell us which one your favorite is. We have Adam Castle in the live chat saying, you look like a great backup quarterback. I didn't know Waldo was ever a quarterback. That's kind of weird.
No, we all know what you're trying to avoid right here. And
No.
since you've gotten that jersey, Gardner Minshew's been one of the
He literally
worst
started
quarterbacks
last
in
week.
football.
He literally threw 2 touchdowns and no
He
interceptions
started
against the
technically.
Chiefs.
Lots of backup quarterbacks start. Malik Willis might be starting this next week.
Yeah, the legend.
The legend, Malik
Malik
Willis.
the Freak.
Malik the Freak.
All right. So, Beaver Dam High School football going toe-to-toe with the Kaukauna. Speaking of Halloween, Galloping Ghosts tomorrow?
I can't believe it. We get them. They even have Halloween colors. I talked about it. It's the coolest thing. They have that, like, statue outside out front. It's
Yeah.
like the Ichabod Crane, Headless Horseman.
Cool.
It doesn't get cooler than that. I wish we had more creative nicknames. Like Beaver Dam,
Yeah, I
Golden
know.
Beavers, creative.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of the Lions. I'm
Cookie
tired of
cutter.
the Panthers, the
Yeah.
Wildcats. Like, can we get a little
Mainstream.
variety out here?
Yeah,
The
so-
Galloping Ghost, fantastic.
I mean, you fell in love with the logo as soon as we saw it. So as much as we want you to watch the game on Daily Dodge TV or listen on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam tomorrow, I'll have the call with Tim Ladron, Justin Wilsky on site for that one. If you want to go to the game, you can buy your tickets for Beaver Dam's second-round playoff matchup with Kaukauna ahead of time. You just have to stop in at the Beaver Dam High School Athletic Office between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. tomorrow, so essentially business hours. $6 a ticket, as you said yesterday, very affordable. You'll also be able to buy tickets on site at the door of Bank of Kaukauna Stadium, but then it's cash only. So make sure you have cash on you. Don't go all the way there and then start floundering for an ATM and then you miss kickoff. Just buy them ahead of time.
Absolutely. Well, and
Yeah.
here's the thing, too. Get out there. That's not that long of a drive. They,
Yeah.
they need your support. They need your support. Excuse me, if I can talk here.
They need your sport.
They need your sport. They need
Go
your
play with 'em.
support. Exactly. I tell you, though, this is you don't know when these opportunities come around. If they win, it's the first time since 1982 they're in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
These things don't happen often. Go out and support. If you can't, you know you can come here. You watch us,
And do
Daily
both.
Dodge TV. Do both. Yeah, give us a watch there. Might going to see a replay on the app. Do it from the stadium. Go to both. Go to the game. Come out. Watch it on Daily Dodge TV. Listen on 1430. Do it all.
And I don't know what the exact live odds are right now. You may argue they're 1 in 50, but Jason Wilde did not rule out the possibility of showing up to the Beaver Dam versus Kaukauna football game tomorrow. I tried to bribe him with some Golden Beavers or 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam merch, so Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch might just have boots on the ground with us there.
We'll see. I was going to say silence is not our friend, and we have had silence today. I haven't heard anything. I'm just saying
Maybe
Vegas'
I'm so
line
excited
is
I didn't
moving
give you
the
an
other
upset.
way.
Yeah, I didn't
Plus
give you an update.
1,500 to show up. That's where we're at right now.
He's only 18 miles away. I wouldn't rule it out. He said his schedule was pretty open. I think we get a Wilde sighting.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
I might get a you up text at like 8 p.m.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
I hope I'm watching it because I will be, unfortunately, I got to write a story for it.
Yep.
So I will be watching on Daily Dodge TV. Hopefully hear from Jason Wilde. If not, you can hear him with me tomorrow 4 to 5 on the Dam Sports Show right there at the top of the hour.
It's a good show. Yeah, so you can go to the Beaver Dam High School Athletic Office between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. tomorrow, $6 a ticket, or it's cash only at the door for Bank of Kaukauna Stadium. Make sure in some way you watch what could be a very historic game. It's a historic game in that it's happening. Beaver Dam getting their first playoff win in 13 years. Let's kind of just dive into this. I have a by-the-numbers graphic that'll be on the broadcast tomorrow in general, but these are two teams that are actually pretty balanced. They like to throw the ball around more than you would see most high school teams in Wisconsin do. And keys to victory. Let's actually start with that before I dive into some more specifics. What do you want to see this Beaver Dam team do? The 5 seed, that was the big storyline going into last week. Can't really use that excuse anymore. They're going up against a Kaukauna team that was going to host a handful of games regardless. What do they have to do to go in there and shock the state?
Defensively, they've got to live up to that preseason goal that Coach Lindy set. Force 2 turnovers. You force 2 turnovers, you got a real shot in this game. This is a team that last week was really the first time all year that the offense was being kind of tested against, or our defense was being tested at least against that offense in Menasha. You're going to see more of that. It's one of the rare occurrences this year where Kaukauna actually averages more passing yards per game than Beaver Dam.
Right.
Very unusual. Beaver Dam's been throwing it around on everybody all year. But Kaukana's offense is even bigger and faster than that of Menasha. This is one of those that you look yourself in the mirror tomorrow morning, prepare for the biggest football challenge to your life at this point. No one outside of this city believes in them.
Yeah.
Every time we're talking to somebody, what is it, Corey Sparks? Well, they had a great season.
Yeah, Kaukauna a tough team. It's going to take a long shot. Go prove them wrong.
It's not over. Exactly. No. Go prove them wrong. To achieve special results, you have to be special. No snaps off. Relentless all night. 11 hats on the ball every play. Make the galloping ghost see ghost on Friday, Corey. I want every player on this team, when they close their eyes, to only see green and gold when they go to sleep. And that's, if they do that, they give themselves a shot.
And I would say keys to victory on my end of things. Win in the trenches. That was a big storyline against Menasha. It's going to have to be the same against Kaukauna. I was looking up and down this 99-player roster, Wally, and 5 of those individuals, all of which getting a decent amount of playing time, are 300 or more pounds. Guess how many of those individuals Beaver Dam has getting playing time right now? None of them. It's going to be a size disadvantage. You have to win in the trenches. It truly could be a hard over height or hard over weight, I guess, in this scenario. I would also say strike early. I think that's huge.
Have
we saw
to play
this
with
team
the lead.
do that in Menasha. And head coach Brock Lindy actually was talking about it. He felt like the game in Menasha was a home game. He's like, I think we kind of got one. Beaver Dam traveled very well. I hope Beaver Dam travels very well. I'm sure they will. I would not expect that same atmosphere in a level 2 matchup against a Kaukauna team that is up there with the best of them, irregardless of division, the last 5 years. This is possibly their 4th time in 5 years going to level 3. This is a program and an audience that expects excellence. They're going to show out for it.
Oh, that's going to be a raucous barn tomorrow. Yeah. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a very playoff, an atmosphere that I think probably most of these kids have not played in all 4 years of school here. It's going to be different. You're going to feel it in the air. We're actually starting to get playoff weather outside right now.
40s, 50s.
40s, 50s, get a little bit of wind. Yeah, and make it challenging on that passing game, which is where I want to actually bring up offensively too. There are going to be quite a few keys to the games here, and it starts at the quarterback position because Eli Bryant and Jeffrey Freund, they're going to have to connect for, I think, over 100 yards tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're going to need that Eli Bryant running game that we saw last week back again. He ran hard. He ran with purpose. You do that again. These are big kids, but you need everybody. It's all hands on deck. I know they don't avoid, but they like to throw the ball with Eli and not actually put him on the ground, but I think that's going to be part of the recipe to win. You have to...
Season's on the line.
Season's on the line. Everybody has to be a part of this game plan, and it starts right there at the quarterback position.
Well, and we saw that with Beaver Dam as they were filing through their different running backs, whether it was Josiah Barnes or Brandon Morrissey or Parker Blank. At some point, when it was 3rd and manageable or 4th and 1 and the game felt like it was on the line, a true swing of momentum could have been in the balances, it was Eli Bryant running it. It was pick a gap, kid, and more times than not, he chose the right gap.
That 4th down that they converted in the first half, where it was at that point only a 7-point game, they ended up going for it on 4th and a long one. It was closer to 2, honestly. And he just hit that gap hard right as soon as he got the ball snap. Yeah. No hesitation. You could tell he was not going to be denied on that play. What happens a couple snaps later? It's 21-7. Beaver Dam never looked back. You need that rush attack, everybody to be involved, whether it be the backfield, whether it be that quarterback slot, whether you throw some jet sweeps in there like we've been seeing. So, man, gotta run the ball, Corey.
Yeah.
Gotta run the ball.
And you got to score early. Going back to that, I think it's very important to marry the two concepts, right? This probably won't feel like a home game. Kaukauna is going to show out.
It's going to be raucous.
100% are. So how do you take the crowd out of it? You score early. Take them out of it right away. Menasha was not – it wasn't – you can hear a pin drop quiet, but it definitely wasn't as hostile as I'm sure the Blue Jays faithful was hoping, because it never could be. They were always either tying it or working from behind. Anytime there was a possible chance for a swing in momentum, it was first down, big chunk play Beaver Dam, whether that was Eli Bryant, whether that was Josiah Barnes, whether that was Parker Blank housing a kick, right? There were so many chances for Menasha to get into the game, to get their crowd into the game, and they never did. Same key here, especially in front of what I would expect to be a seismically bigger crowd. Don't let the Galloping Ghost faithful, that is such a cool name, I don't care what side of the coin you're on, don't let them get into the game.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So not only do you have to score early, you got to play a clean game. It's so cliche. We talk about it every week, whether it's the Packers, Badgers, Beaver Dam. If you play a game, you keep the turnovers from happening. You keep the penalties from happening. You give yourself a chance. It's the second that you start getting those drives, you're 30 yards downfield, all of a sudden you get a holding on 1st and 10, and you're playing from behind schedule. That is so impossible, especially with the team with this much size, a team they haven't seen, nothing like this. You can't play from behind the game. You got to be playing 2nd and 7, not 2nd and 15. Play clean.
And something to be said about what head coach Brock Lindy has done. If we just take a look at his coaching profile, 15-6 in the last 2 seasons at the helm of a program that went 10 straight seasons under 500. He is 15-6 in 2 years. He took over the program officially in 2020. He was actually telling me, he's like, look, maybe that wasn't the greatest year, but the last couple of years they've gone 6-5, now 9-1. Gave this team their first conference championship in 41 years since 1983, and then just this last week led them to their first playoff victory since 2011 against Hortonville. It's also a weird geographical spot, right? You look at who they're playing. They had to go north to Menasha. They have to go north another 10, 15 minutes to Kaukauna. Beaver Dam is central Wisconsin. They can kind of be put anywhere. So it's interesting to see how everything dialed up. Computers or not, they're going north this time.
I know. I was going to say, you know where we stand on where the seating was, what region they were put in. If they were in a different one, they're probably getting a home game last week. They probably have an easier matchup this week, but you can't cry over spilled milk. And I tell you, I know nobody is giving this team a chance. But that doesn't matter. It's as long as that locker room thinks that they can win that game, that locker room plays for one another, they have a shot. This Kaukauna team, I tell you, they're good. They played good football teams. They haven't played a team like Beaver Dam. There's a lot of specialness around here. It feels like a motivated group. I'm fired up. Get the first drive in, get settled in, hopefully force a punt. Show you belong, not only for them, but for yourself. And once you do that, you can really settle in, and it's just a football game. Like you've done your entire life. You have 48 minutes to go get to the quarterfinals. Just go out there and play your football.
Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You know, as they prepare for the Galloping Ghosts, a very tough team that's played other squads like Kimberly and Enoch, Notre Dame out of Green Bay that also Menasha ran into, and those were both close contests. Each of those teams falling to undefeated Notre Dame that's looking to keep their dance continuing. It's this, right? Beaver Dam has beaten a lot of Division III teams. Beaver Dam is not a Division III team. And we 100% saw that, not to state the obvious, when they beat Menasha. That was a legitimate opponent that won the whole thing 10 years ago. That was a state runner-up 5 years ago. And Beaver Dam went into their house as the 5 seed, albeit, and show that they belong. I don't think anything changes here.
No, I mean, the only loss they've had this year was that Mount Horeb Barneveld team.
Also undefeated.
Also undefeated. A team that could win state in their own right. And they should have probably won that game, or at least they'll tell you that they should have won that game. They didn't play clean football. They made mistakes, and it kind of bit them in the bottom.
And they still only lost by 4.
And they lost only by 4. So you go out there and you play a game basically like any of the games you played in the last 2-3 weeks, and you're going to put yourself in a position to win. We just can't afford to, fall behind early. Talk about the flip side of the coin. If you fall behind, and there is a team that's this big, this fast, you are setting yourself up for some trouble. Go out there, get a turnover, give me a stop early. That's what it comes down to. Get off the field in the first quarter and make this a 4-quarter game.
100%. We will step aside our candy draft reveal. When we come back, this is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN and Daily Dodge TV. DJ Khaled is playing. All we do is win. That is what's going to happen here. So you and I are doing – this is a great idea by you. I was trying to figure out a way to rank or kind of give our opinions on different Halloween candy here on the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN, Beaver Dam, and Daily Dodge TV. Gardner and Wilde with you, of course. And you were going, well, what if we did like it – not an all-22, but you pick 11 people on one side of the ball, I pick 11 on the other side, and then we literally draft different types of Halloween candy and assign them. You and your sister did something with Les Mis, right? With like Les Mis and...
Oh, and it was brilliant, by the way.
So this is kind of the same, right?
Well, yeah, we casted the Muppets into Les Mis, natural. Right. And I tell you, some of the people were born for the role. One of these days, I'm going to get that greenlit by Warner Brothers or whoever I need to talk to.
Yeah.
I'll direct it. I have no problem with that. It's just something I'm putting into the world.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is very similar. We're putting candy and positional values, and you guys are going to have to let us know whose team is stronger.
And we have a board that we will kind of show you after every handful of picks here. So I am the XOs on the bottom because
the XOs, he
because
says.
Wally can't handle. So I had a bunch of O's, and then Wally wanted me to add X's to them. It was X's and O's.
He literally, they're called X's and O's. This is going to spoil my out of bounds because this is going to be it. We're going to get to that when we get to the fourth block. They're called X's and O's, not X's and X's.
So I wrote X's first, and then you were like, oh, I want X's, so then I wrote O's around mine.
No, I did X's first. You just followed up by doing X's on your own. There's illegal formations. There's people covering others up. The spacing here for the line.
It's almost like this isn't real. It's almost like it's a candy draft.
Well, my defense looks pretty real.
Yeah,
this looks like the 85 Bears out here.
We will work you. All right. So who should draft first? I didn't think about this part. You can draft first.
I'll defer.
Oh, that's fine.
I defer to the second
Not
half.
a snake draft, right? Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
That's just how confident I am I'll beat you. You can have the first pick.
All right, that's fine. So I have pistol, trips right. I've got a receiver on the left that's going to go one-on-one with I don't care who your corner is.
You're starting with a receiver?
Yeah, I'm going to go Twix right here. Nobody is taking Twix one-on-one.
Too bad you ordered a right Twix to play on the left side. That's a little soft.
Wow, no, I have both. It plays both sides.
Twix is 1-1 in the candy draft. Twix is 1-1.
Oh, don't you worry. My quarterback can sling it.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even think that this one was going to be available because the easiest one in the world, Reese's, green dot player, middle linebacker, the Reese's Cup. It's not even close.
I don't like the thought you're putting into this
already. Oh, my gosh. You got to go immediately with the star player, someone who's going to be physical. That Reese's, it's going to take all you allergic to peanut people out. This person's playing. It's Vontaze Burfict in his prime right here.
Oh, okay. All right. Reese's plays dirty. Okay.
You said it, not me.
We will go. I will not be drafting the Antonio Brown of candies then.
All right, well, cool. Let's draft the center here, second pick.
Yeah, no, let's go a household name. What is the first thing that a lot of people think of when they think candy, whether it's Halloween or their s'mores? What's the base of their s'mores? I'm going to put a household name, possibly someone who could have gone number 1 overall in this draft, but somehow he fell to the second round. Whose fault is that? Half yours. I'm going to go with Hershey's for my quarterback.
You're going Hershey's? Generic Hershey's?
No, household name Hershey's. You know what you're going to get every single time. What's the basement of Hershey's?
You do.
You know what you're expecting.
You're getting Gardner Minshew in the second round.
No.
You were drafting Gardner Minshew in the second round.
This is one of the few things that is better than Gardner.
You have Hershey's as your starting quarterback.
Easily.
This draft's already over.
Easily. Hershey's is going to be able to facilitate. It's going to work well with other pieces like a Mellow, like a graham cracker. You could be in denial all you want. It makes way too much sense.
So bad.
Yeah,
that's such a bad
That's
pick.
all right. Nod your way out of it.
Makes it so easy for me to immediately go with my edge rusher here. Kit Kat on the outside.
Okay.
That is easy. Talk about needing a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. That quarterback's going to need a break.
Oh, all right.
That quarterback, that's Hershey's. Hershey's is the quarterback. Second pick, third overall. We have Charlie Dern shaking his head.
Yeah.
This is over.
You know that thing you do where you just agree with someone because they're so passionate? Like,
you are Brian Ferentz. This offense isn't going to score this year.
Sure.
Hershey's.
We're going to go Milk Dud snapping the ball. Yep.
Milk Dud snapping the ball? This is unbelievable.
You are gaslighting everyone and thinking this is a bad idea. But right now,
is so soft,
right now we're looking at like a 93 overall on one end, and I'd maybe give you like an 84.
It's like you're trying to play on like Heisman mode, and I'm over here on
Milk Dud's
varsity.
going to take up a lot of space. It's going to roll around. We're pretty versatile. We need a mobile center. Maybe I'll send him out for a pass. Who knows?
You're telling me we're in the third
Maybe I'll
round.
hand it off. Doug Kramer.
We're in the third round, and I'm going to be able to go out here, go a little.
I'm looking for value here.
I'm going off of the chocolate beaten path here.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm going with a strong corner. Third pick, Skittles. Skittles, easy third.
Skittles
Everybody
is the
loves
fuel
Skittles.
for Marshawn Lynch.
Skittles, I'm matching him up
You
on.
just threw a running back out to cover Twix.
I am literally having Skittles shut down Twix. This is going to look like Jair with
What's
like
bigger?
a fourth
What's
wide
bigger,
receiver.
a Skittle or a Twix?
Oh, is that what we're doing?
I'm
Quality over
50-50
quantity?
balling
but
you
instead we're
easy.
going the
It's like a
opposite way?
90-10 ball.
That's fine. Let's hear your next pick. What's out there? Good and Plenty's at guard?
So, no. I need someone who's going to have long arms, who's going to be physical, who's going to be able to block on the outside in my little trips right formation. I'm going to go Twizzlers. You can
Okay,
pick
I'm
any of
actually
those.
upset. I thought I was going to be able to sneak
No,
Twizzlers
no,
later.
no. We got the length here. We'll go the furthest to the right side receiver in my trips right formation. Maybe he'll hurt you deep. Maybe he'll stretch the arms out. Hopefully we get away with a holding call here and there. He's not going to pull with the jersey. Just going to extend the arm out. I'm going to go Twizzlers out there.
That hurts me.
We're gonna use length.
I thought I was going to be able to sneak Twizzlers in at corner.
Reach.
I'm going to go, though, because it makes too much sense. You can't play Butterfingers at wide receiver, so you play him at cornerback.
Oh, so he can drop the ball.
It's too easy. He's an athlete. Butterfingers is going to match up on Twizzlers and have him in a box all day.
I have them in a box. These are all in boxes.
In a phone booth.
These are all in boxes.
In a phone booth. What's your next pick?
I'm going to go with someone who is electric, someone who is versatile, someone you can use in a variety of situations because there's different elements to his game. Got a little caramel. Got a little chocolate. Not too heavy, but can also come in bigger sizes if you want to go for the king size. We are going to go with Snickers out of the backfield. Snickers is going to burst through the gap. Snickers is going to put its shoulder down. Snickers is going to juke you out once in a while. It's sweet. It's salty. It's everything you want. I have a pass-catching back who is going to annihilate you in every single way.
You know, I'm going to take actually something that's better, though, because it's literally Snickers. Just remove the peanuts. I can do peanuts and plenty of things, but give me the Milky Way. The Milky Way, you get the caramel with that nougat. It's better than the Snickers. Same kind of player, though. So I'm slotting that in as my weak side linebacker. Milky Way is going to lock up, meet you in the hole with the Snickers. Snickers, see you later.
Snickers, see you later. I could build the line. I could keep going skill position players, too, though, because I'm pistol trips right, so I got to get the ball out fast, and I need athletes out there. I need someone who's going to be able to kind of, like Darnell Mooney or Tariq Cohen. I need someone who's going to be able to sneak through the cracks, right? I need a Montgomery, a Ty Montgomery. I'm going to go with Candy Corn out wide.
Oh, my gosh,
next
it's
to
over.
Twizzlers. So Twizzlers is blocking, and Candy Corn's going to sneak through with that 4.25 40, Wally.
This is the worst offense I've ever seen. You took Candy Corn in full awareness that you could have got it with the last pick of the draft, because I'm not eating wax. If I wanted to eat a candle, I'd go and do it. I'm not touching Candy Corn. You can have it on the outside.
That's fine.
Too easy.
That's fine.
100 grand bar, strong safety. Most underrated candy in this entire draft.
I don't think 100 grand comes with a whole lot of speed, though. Like, if I get over your head, it's over.
Well, that's why he's the boom. He's the strong safety. He ain't going to be playing that deep third. He's going to be up in there in that middle inside. I tell you, 100 grand bar, too simple.
This is unbelievable. If you asked me a year ago, this is what you're going to be doing on Halloween, I would not believe
Well, yeah, clearly it looks like we told you this is what you were doing on Halloween 3 minutes ago, the way you're drafting right now.
We'll go left guard.
Wow, he's going guard before tackle. We are just not going to draft the tackle here, Corey.
No. We got to steal the edge.
Okay.
Give me Werther's, the little caramel candies.
Wait, what did you call it?
Werther's.
You're taking a candy that the average person's gonna have to Google.
Yep.
You got it, man. No problem. How do you
know
spell
why?
that?
No, you bring up a great point.
Let's spell
Wally.
that here.
WERTHERS. You have no clue what I'm talking about, do you? Meaning you have no scouting report on the blocking ability of these Werthers.
You know
They're
what?
little
That's
caramel
fine.
candies that are phenomenal. They're shiny. They're sweet. You can down like 10 of them and not feel the worst about yourself.
If you want to draft a kid out of JUCO and make him your starting guard, then you can do that.
You have
I'm
no
okay. I'm
clue.
going big school. I'm going to
This
go
is
with the Georgia
sneaky.
boy. It's easy. Not a problem.
Yep.
All right, fine. Well, then I got to mix it up. I got to go with a big fella here. I just took a guy with nougat. I'm going to go back to it again. How about 3 Musketeers? Throw it in the freezer. A frozen 3 Musketeers. Peel the chocolate off. Leave the nougat in the inside. That's where it's at right there.
One
Easy.
trick pony. You're kind of going the same archetype for all these.
Well, you say that.
Once I
have
figure one of
Skittles
them
on
out,
the
I figure them
outside.
all out.
I got Skittles on the outside. I'm not done drafting yet. You think that you have me in a good spot. We'll see.
I need someone who is big, strong, but also light on their feet. Maybe you'd say they're filled with air. I'm going to go Airheads for my 3rd wide receiver.
Oh, that's a perfect wide receiver pick. I'll at least say that.
There we go. I think I sold that one to you. Not much more of an explanation that needs to happen there.
But
Airheads.
you have 2 good wide receivers
Thank you,
here.
sir.
Yeah, Airheads and Twizzlers is going to be tough to beat.
Yes, sir.
Twix is 1-1 is unbelievable. But you know what? Hey, it's your draft. You can do what you want.
You gave me the honors.
I am going
I know you
to-
wanted Twix at 1-2.
I'm not worried about twists, but you know what? I have to go with a staple as a defensive tackle. Something that's just going to eat blocks, and it's got to be easy. They're Tootsie Rolls. They're just simple. That they're going to be in their gap. They're doing their assignment. Yeah, is it going to wow you? Absolutely not.
I could roll the Tootsie Roll away and just burst through.
But you're never
getting by me.
There's nothing wow about a Tootsie Roll, but if there's a Tootsie Roll on a desk, I will always be in the room. I will always be willing to take that Tootsie Roll and smile while doing it.
Little late round steal, maybe? I'm going to go. We need some more, dare I say, girth on the O-line. I'm going to go peanut M&Ms.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yep.
That's a good pick. I'm giving it to you at guard here.
We'll just move on from that one. We'll have you go next.
All right, peanut M&Ms. That's a good pick.
I think that's a sleeper.
All right, well, I've got to go with Sour Patch Kids as my free safety. You got Sour Patch Kids. That's a guy that's going to end up going out there. He's probably going to miss a couple times. He's
going to take some risks.
He's going to take a risk.
Trayvon Diggs.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at. Yeah, we're going to get beat every now and then, but you're not ready for that pick six going the other way.
Okay. Well, Darius Bland. Xavier McKinney? He hasn't been burnt yet this year, really, though.
All right, you got 2 picks. Let's hear your last ones here.
All right. I am going to go with – what do I have? I just have my right side.
Yeah, just right guard, right tackle.
Gotcha. My quarterback is ambidextrous, by the way. I could have done Twix for that because you have a right and a left. Dang it. Anyway, we will go Dum-Dums, right guard.
You're throwing this. You're throwing this.
Look.
You might not end up with 5% of the
Going to get hit a lot. We're seeing a lot of contact there.
I'm not even laughing
How
anymore.
durable is the Dum-Dum? If I just tap it like this, it's not going to get deformed like chocolate would. Dum-Dum is a very smart pick there, actually. Good job, Corey.
Just because you say it's a good pick doesn't make it a good pick.
I feel really good about that.
My pick, which is a good pick, I mentioned it before we got going here, Hershey's Cookies and Cream. Perhaps my personal favorite.
So that's not draft eligible. We're going with, like, classic candy here,
that's
so you're not allowed
eligible.
to pick that. No, don't write that.
Oh, it's been written.
Oh, okay.
Cookies and Cream.
Now we're just like...
as a dream edge rusher.
You claim I have a bad team, but then you have to go and grab people who aren't even on the board.
Do you realize that like cookies and cream ice cream is like the most sought after flavor in the world?
It didn't go to the combine. It's phenomenal. I love it, but it's not draft eligible yet. A really good raw talent, but it's newer.
We'll leave that to the people. You're taking Werther's. I didn't even know that was a place that existed until today.
You've never seen Werther's?
I did not. No, you can have your worthless pick. I'll allow it.
We're going to go, this isn't someone that's going to jump off the page, going to get the job done.
Last guy on your team, mind you.
Yeah, some people don't love it, but I think it's malleable, right? Like if you push this thing back, it's going to recover.
Malibu. I'm like, I don't think that applies.
Malibu. No drinks today.
Fair.
We're going to go with Swedish Fish. It's kind of got that putty consistency. Try and run through it, Wally. You're just going to slingshot back.
I'm not even addressing
it's gummy.
that. This is getting pathetic.
It is going to change form. It's adaptable. And maybe, just maybe, as long as I declare everything, Taylor Decker, and let him chip and go out, maybe we'll get a little eligible receiver down the field. Please tell me you're spelling that right?
Last pick, I already wrote it in.
You didn't spell it right, so it doesn't count.
Haribo Gold Bears.
There's a U at the end of that.
It's too simple. You got to mix in some sweet.
Isn't there a U at the end of that?
A little gummy there. There's not. You can't spell. We're going to be able to have to show that off here as well in a second.
Are you kidding me?
My defense is going to lock you up.
Oh, it is Haribo.
I know it's Haribo. I spelled it.
Hand up. Sorry. It looked wrong.
Then you obviously don't eat enough candy. I'm
Gold
looking at your
bars.
picks. Werther's. We're taking Werther's mid-round.
Grammy's favorite.
This is the easiest. You know what? That's fine. When we get back from break, we'll have this up in front of you. Our own very own.
So I blew you out.
Host might be helping us out.
I blew you out.
Vienna White style.
Yes, absolutely. When we come back, we'll go out of bounds, and we'll also review. What do we even call this? Our Halloween candy teams. Looks like an all-22.
It does look like an all-22, and I tell you, again, locked up.
We wrap the show up when we come back. This is the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN and Daily Dodge TV. left here on the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. We're here at the YMCA of Dodge County, and I gotta give you props. This is a pretty cool idea. We both agreed that you have to have Halloween candy somewhere in a Halloween show, especially when we dedicated 2 hours to this thing and wanted to make a trip and a whole event out of it. And you said, let's do a 22 candy draft, and here we are.
It was too easy. First
Shout
of
out
all,
Toast, by the way.
shout out
Yep,
Toast.
yep.
I was just going to say, our fantastic Vanna White here. I have to point out, I want this on camera. Obviously, Justin has this up. Game recognized game, except I'm going to just shatter your hopes and dreams here. Look at these splits. What is this? Is this 1983? They're going to be eaten alive by these inside techniques. And look over here. His wide receivers are covered up. You ain't running on routes. Airheads here.
Airheads on a streak, it's
going
over.
nowhere. They're blocking outside because they can't go downfield. I mean, this is unbelievable setup. The O's on top of the X's, it's just all bad. And then you look at
It's all
the
psychological
team.
warfare.
Then you look at this team. Dum-Dums are on here.
Yep.
Werthers are on here.
Yep.
Milk Duds was one of your first picks.
Hard.
You intentionally chose Hershey's as your chocolate as your quarterback. I know, I heard that there. It started going in a bad way.
Woo!
You have Hershey's chocolate as your quarterback,
Yep.
which is the most average candy in the world.
Now you know what you're getting.
You know what you're
You
getting.
know what?
Average.
Elite receivers. I can take a game manager.
Average.
I can take a game manager. My
Yeah,
Jared Goff.
If I'm going chocolate, give me Dove chocolate.
Yep.
Give me Cadbury. Give me anything but that Hershey's. And I'm from PA. I'm a PA guy. I should love Hershey's.
Okay.
But
So I'll give you, let's do this. I'll compliment one aspect of your defense, and then I'll critique something. Compliment first. I'll be nice. Reese's is a phenomenal linebacker. Is that your Mike or your Will?
oh, that's definitely my green dot Mike right there.
Okay, that's
Too
your
easy.
Mike. So on the ball.
Too
All right.
easy. Butterfingers, obviously skill position guy, but he
So
can't play on the outside.
that was very strategic. I appreciate that. $100,000 bar back there is the strong safety. I
Cheap,
like a lot.
Playing very on a team-friendly deal at $100,000.
Critique here. Kit Kat is literally made to be broken. That is an injury-prone defensive end.
Oh,
So
yeah, I'm really
that's your
worried
Aiden
about
Hutchinson.
I'm really worried about peanut M&Ms being able to hold up against Kit Kat.
Now there's
here.
going to be no one there. All right.
Werthers isn't going to move. It's literally a 43-year-old left tackle.
You're going to – no, it's a Joe Thomas, not a left tackle.
Joe Thomas retired at like mid-30s. Nice
We've got a veteran up there. All right. So now this isn't going to be hard for you at all. Critique mine, and then give flowers somewhere.
Do you still want me to critique? Because
Yeah.
I see 3 or 4 good picks on this entire board.
Are
So
you-
you know,
no.
I'll say
this
that.
This side, not that side.
I will stay with the good things first because
Okay.
it's going to be a lot shorter for me to talk positives.
Yep.
Your Airheads, that's such a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's Antonio Brown if I've ever seen it. Phenomenal pick.
I don't know.
Twizzler, you got the length, you got the the
Antonio Brown.
bendability, you got the ball skills. Twizzler makes a lot of sense there on the outside. Twix, it's a good pick. Here's the thing, you just took it too early. 1-1, you took that as a first overall pick in the draft. You're fired the next day.
No.
The city's running you out of town. You have to go up on the podium and talk to them. Yeah, we're really excited to get Twix in the building. No, you don't say that.
It's doing everything right. That's
You
Justin
say we're
Jefferson.
rebuilding.
That's Justin Jefferson.
You're rebuilding. That's Brian Burns on the outside.
Stop.
That's what you have, or your wide receiver. You took
Brian
Jalen
Burns,
Rager.
my favorite wide receiver.
You took
No.
Jalen Rager,
Stop
and I
it.
got Justin Jefferson. Nice
Don't
job.
disrespect.
That's an awful draft. It's not even going to be close. We will have that poll up on Twitter, so you'll be able to vote out there as well.
Could
Make
tell
sure
the
you check
truth.
it out. Tell the truth, please. If you think Corey's team is good, I don't want your vote. So go and vote for him. But if you are on the right side
In
of
the
history,
spirit of election
take
season.
me. Yeah, the spirit of election season. Yeah,
You authorizing
Corey is
this
a
message?
joke. Wally Lukashinsky and I authorize this message.
Right. Out of bounds, yours was me doing the XO hybrid, even though I put X's there first.
Yeah, I already kind of wasted it. This is out of bounds. Exactly. Everything you do is out of bounds. That's not an NFL formation. That looks like something I give a 6-year-old a pen and say, hey, draw me a play. That's what they'd come up with.
My out of bounds is going to be the fact that you think you have a chance against me in basketball. We're going to go one-on-one here in just a moment.
You're going to get
One-on-one.
worked in that, too. You got to follow up getting worked in the candy draft
No.
to the candy man himself.
I will not take this disrespect. This
You
is a
will.
phenomenal
It
team.
literally, it's just like that old movie, the scary movie. Don't say Candyman the mere 3 times, or I'm
Long-arm
going to pop
Twizzlers.
up and behind you.
11 receptions, 220 yards,
You're
and
going
3
to see
scores.
me in the paint tonight here in about 30 minutes, so be careful. So what's your out of bounds again? Was that it? That you're going to lose to me?
No. I do have another out of bounds. The Yankees fan that grabbed Mookie Betts' glove got a refund for Game 5.
Okay, that was a little weird. You don't have to
Gronk's
refund
college
that dude.
buddy. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe. I couldn't explain that. I still am looking back here again. Thank you, Toes, for holding us up here for us. I am in a otherworld. Werthers in 2024 was selected.
4 to 5 p.m. tomorrow. It'll be Wally Lukashinsky and Charlie Dern. I'll be on my way to Kaukauna with Tim Ladron. This has been the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN and Daily Dodge TV.